Why can I hear the light? It's okay, we've been here before. Carry on the light, they won't know it hurts more. It's okay, we've been here before. Carry on the light, they won't know it hurts more. It's okay, we've been here before. Carry on the light, they won't know it hurts more.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the HP Podcast, episode number 345. I'm Ben, and with me here today are, as always, the beautiful boys. Hello, boys.
What's up, Ben?
How are you, other than beautiful today?
Mostly that.
Just mostly beautiful?
Yeah.
I understand.
No, I'm good. I'm feeling real good today. It's been a beautiful day. It's very nice out, very temperate.
I have not stepped outside yet.
Is it getting like somewhere in between? We're starting to get into a little bit more less hot days, and this is the sweet spot. I do enjoy fall, but the temperature that's outside when you just can kind of just exist and it's pretty close to your house temperature is like beauty.
Yeah, you're right. I just don't know. Like, I haven't been out there. Like, this morning, I woke up, I went into the bathroom, did the morning bathroom things, walked 15 feet down the hall to my office, sat in this chair or stood at this desk, depending on what time of the day it was, had many meetings, maybe walked to the bathroom to pee twice more, walked downstairs just briefly ago to grab a plate of food and bring it back upstairs to continue working. And now I'm here with you. And by the time I'm done, then after that, I'll go and I'll stream, and I will have not been outside the entire day.
Damn,
And that's
bro.
not because I don't want to.
Well, there's still time.
There isn't in my day. It will be after midnight by the time I can leave this computer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe just take a quick walk around the block after
I could
this.
throw the window open and stick my head out.
Honestly, I feel like that's a pretty good happy medium.
Sticking
Bring
your
the-
head out the window.
Bring the outside to you. That's
Yeah.
actually brilliant.
Dave, do you like to stick your head out?
Yeah, and so I've had a lot of days like you just described lately, Ben, because I work at home, and I do stuff like this at night sometimes. So I get up from here at like 10, 11 o'clock at night, and I'm like, I've literally been sitting in the same spot for like 13, 14 hours. So
Is this what prison feels like?
If it is, it's okay. Like,
I hope prison has a PlayStation and a,
yeah, if prison's
Not in
got
America.
I got a
my
wine
mega
fridge
desk
back
here.
there, so
Not in
Yeah.
America, they don't. Yeah.
mega desk.
America has the nicest prisons in the world, for what it's worth.
I don't. Think
They're still
that's
not
true.
great. I'm not saying
Do
I want to
not
go
think
there,
that's
but they're
true
way
at
nice.
all.
What?
Have you seen some of the prisons in like some of the European countries where they have like desks and beds and windows and
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I don't know what European countries you're referring to, but some of the European countries, like, it's dirt floor, no bed, and if you want to eat, your family's got to bring it to you.
yeah, and like Russia.
Yeah, Eastern Europe, maybe. The Western Europe, that's the Ritz, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hitler had like a suite after the failed coup. He had like a whole room, It was nice. He was
Had his own prostitutes probably too.
I think
Yeah.
that's a different scenario, though.
fair enough.
Yeah. Also, that was 70 years ago. So
Time flies.
time flies.
When you're
Uh,
having fun.
Sorry, I got to go back. Ben, you
80 years
asked,
ago.
in addition to being beautiful, is there anything else we're feeling? And I'm feeling proud today, proud of myself. And I'd like to share a story as to why.
Yeah.
My washing machine ceased operating in the middle of the Bears game on Monday night. It was really annoying. So it just got an error code and it said SC and the water wouldn't drain. Long story short, I fixed it myself. And this wasn't just like power cycling or anything. Like, I actually had to pull, the back off, and I had to take apart the drain pump and find a little sock of my daughter's had been sucked into the drain pump and was blocking everything up. And like, I got the serial number and I went on YouTube and found a guy who was doing the exact thing that I need to do. God bless people who take that time to film themselves doing things, because this is, and you go through the comments and people are like, if I can do this, anybody can do it. All you need is a screwdriver in this video and stuff like that. So I saved, if I had called a technician, I'm guessing it would have been $200-300 for them just to arrive at the house. And then even if I had told them over the phone, I have this clothes washing machine model, and I'm pretty sure it requires this pump. So can you please bring this pump with you? So if that's the problem, you don't have to go away and charge me for another hour. So I'm thinking I probably would have paid at least $500, whereas the new washing machine probably would have been $8,000 to $1,000. So I saved a lot of money just by having a little bit of courage. So I'm proud of myself today.
I've done that exact thing before, like literally down to the T, where it's like I have to my wife screws up the washer or dryer, and no, I'm just kidding. And no, I mean, it's actually my children most of the time that screw up things. And I got to go fix it and diagnose it and look at YouTube videos and pull stuff apart. And maybe you got to order, like, I fixed my air conditioning condenser at my old house one time. I fixed many a cars. Fixed an oven once, although that was only a temporary solution. Fixed dryers and washers both. Nothing is like, this is a permanent fix, but it's real nice to right now not have to spend $1,000 that you weren't expecting to spend.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually gives me hope, boys. I'm still working on the wife half of that, and then I think that I'll eventually be able to get to the washer half at some point.
So you need someone to ruin the stuff first before you can start doing DIYs.
I'm pretty
right?
good at ruining things, but I don't have any tiny shocks. Mine are all pretty big.
Right.
So I'm kind of like at the beginning of that, but I have something to look forward to.
Nice.
The empowerment.
It's an awesome feeling. And
it's almost as good as like ripping a cig and throwing a dart, probably, huh?
exactly.
I think so. Yeah.
So it's a 2-part PSA here for the two of you and our listeners. Number one, if you have a tiny human in your house and you're washing their clothes, get a bag, one of those washing bags that you put all the little clothes in to keep it from sucking. The second thing is, if you lack confidence, just try. It's a bit scary, but you might save yourself a lot of money and gain a bit of confidence in yourself. So
I've actually found in the past 2 years that the things that scare me the most and I do them, it actually usually ends up turning out pretty well.
Nice.
It's a really big learning experience, really, most of the time. And sometimes it goes bad, but usually when it goes bad, it's not as bad as I think it's going to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just how it is, man. You got to do things you're afraid of.
Hell
Except
yeah.
for cutting off my balls. I refuse to do that.
Are
Just
you afraid of cutting off your ball? Like, I'm only afraid of things that I might possibly do or that could possibly happen. I'm not going to cut off my balls.
I didn't say you were going to cut. I'm just saying it's a scary thought, is what I'm saying.
I'm afraid of walking into oncoming traffic, but I don't want to try that.
You guys have like intrusive thoughts, you mean? Like,
No,
you're
no,
walking
no.
across a bridge and you're like, what if I accidentally jumped off this?
I think
Yeah.
that all the time.
I think the accident would be falling off, not jumping off. That would be kind of intentional, but
Like,
counterproductive in any.
Well, that's an accident. Intrusive thoughts are like, what if I jumped off this?
right.
What if
That's
I
like
just
a
did that
video of
right
the
now?
guy like doing this. The intrusive thoughts guy. Yeah.
like, what if I just push this knife deep into my throat? Like, you know, it's just like, I don't know, you know, what would that be like?
Also,
Well,
I don't think it would
counterproductive.
be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like intrusive. I think it's been best described to me as like not actually having those thoughts or desires or something like that, but worrying that you might do it anyway because you're thinking about it. Like if there were a ghost there. I don't know.
Dude, a thought's like halfway to doing it.
That's not true.
What show is this, Ben?
What?
That's where you say this is the HP podcast.
I just got to go back for a second on Brandon's thoughts halfway to doing it. If a thought's halfway to doing it,
The other half is action, Ben. Okay, so first the thought comes, and then
I've had a lot of thoughts I haven't got halfway near doing.
Right.
Okay.
But
This is Minority Report, though, because
it's two parts. Go ahead, Dave.
yeah, no, you're good. Go ahead.
It's two parts, Ben. You conceive the action, and then you execute the action. Those are the two parts. It's a two-part process. Half of it is conceiving it. So you're halfway there to doing it.
No.
I'm saying you're wrong. You're wrong. It doesn't mean that.
So
it
if I
doesn't mean
say
you're any closer to doing it, it means you're halfway to doing it. Okay, so you could be just as close to not doing it as doing it.
So if I say I've got a plan to make $1 billion, am I halfway there to making that $1 billion?
Depends on how you look at it.
This is the HP podcast. We talk about video games and whatever stupidity we feel like otherwise. You can help support us over on patreon.com/handsomephantom for as little as $1 measly little dollar a month. Helps keep the show going, helps keep us happy. We appreciate it. You can also join us on Discord at handsomephantom.com/Discord. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in there, and you just need to be a part of it to really understand it. It's free. There's nothing stopping you. Unless you like don't have Discord in your country or something. But I don't know if that's anywhere. Come hang out with us. You guys want to talk about some video games?
Hold up, Edward Walton saying, "I'm saying therapy is needed. Don't worry, buddy. I'm way ahead of you." All right, go ahead.
Yeah. Bioshock, the movie, has gotten a key update about its story. This comes from GameSpot.com. And it says Netflix's Bioshock movie remains in development, and now a key detail about the story has been revealed. Producer Roy Lee said in a new interview that the movie is based on the first Bioshock game. Quote, Netflix wants us to keep everything under wraps, before confirming that the film is definitely based on the 2007 original. Francis Lawrence, the director of Hunger Games, is attached to direct the first movie, and Lee confirmed it will be the director's next film after the Hunger Games Sunrise on the Reaping. That film's in production now in Spain and due for release in 2026. He also confirmed that the script is just being worked on right now. He went on to say one of the reasons... No, I'm not going to read that part. When the script for Bioshock was coming together, Lawrence made the long walk and was already committed to doing Sunrise on the Reaping next, so it's just waiting for him whenever the Hunger Games is completed. Boys, are you excited about the Hunger Games movie, or are you worried?
Bioshock.
I also want to know about the Hunger Games, but yes, I met Bioshock.
I know we don't normally talk about. Well, sometimes we talk about this stuff, but I specifically picked this out for Brandon.
Yeah.
So I'm going to defer to him. But I just want to say that I think they're going in the right direction, because BioShock's biggest asset is its story and setting, and its best story and setting is BioShock 1. So this is promising. But Brandon, your thoughts?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, by default, I'm a little bit concerned, although we've been getting a lot of really good video game IP lately, between stuff like The Last of Us, and Fallout. I'm starting to come around a little bit on video game assets in common culture, in normie, TV settings. So I'm a little bit cautious, I guess, more than naysaying it. But it's cool that the person that is working on Hunger Games is working on it, because some of those were pretty good. And they have experience with, long running IP and converting things that were based off of other things into movies. So, I mean, Netflix has more money than God. So I think that if anybody's going to be doing it, it's good that, maybe we'll get some really cool set pieces. Obviously, we'll get good visuals, nice sound, good music. And all of the things kind of culminate in the game to make them what they are. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see how they walk the fine line. But like I said, a lot of shows recently have done it pretty gracefully, excluding season 2 of The Last of Us, which kind of diverted a little bit for me personally. I still liked it. So it is possible to, change the subject matter in a way that is still good for most people. But that's going to kind of be the sweet spot for them, is trying to figure out how much they are going to stick to the game. I would love for them to build heavily upon the game and the atmosphere, but not do the exact story of the game. I would love to see just something in Rapture, right? I want to see the set pieces. I want to, get the lore about the plasmids. It can be a new story inside that same amazing atmosphere, and that's actually kind of what I'm hoping for in this case.
I hope it's like horror leaning.
Dude, it lends itself so well to that. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I'm also happy to hear that it's a movie and not a TV show, because as much as I try to get into some of these TV shows, I don't want to spend 8 to 12 hours over, I know some people binge this stuff, but I want it to be over and done with in 2 hours. And I think you have to be much more concise in a movie over something on TV, like a TV show, episodic. And I think that kind of fits better with BioShock. But yeah, this is really promising to me.
It can be really tight too. That's exactly right. What you're saying, like you have way less wiggle room. You have to tell
it's no filler episodes. It's
cohesive,
linear,
right? Yeah.
I just hope that Dwayne The Rock Johnson is a big daddy. Like, that's really...
Oh my God.
He already is a big daddy.
Yeah.
He's been a big daddy for a long time.
The fact that Francis Lawrence is directing, people may not like the Hunger Games, that's fine, but those are decent movies.
They are good.
Decent at decent at worst. So that's encouraging. And yeah, the fact that they're not like, we got to get this movie made, let's make it, doesn't matter, and they're like waiting on these people's timelines, even though this has been in the kind of the greenlit works for years, is encouraging. But of course, we're still a long ways off, and a lot of things could happen. So we'll see. But I'm excited for it. Honestly, like, I would be happy with a new story inside of Rapture that kind of goes along with the same details as the first game. But also, I would be fine with a beat for beat movie make of the game, because I love that game so much that having it on film where, it's being played out in a different way or in a different format would be cool too to me. Yeah. So I'm not going to be upset either way, honestly. Yeah.
It's not the most original setting, but just the look and the art direction of the game itself is so beautiful. It's not original, but the way they did it is just gorgeous.
Yeah. That's all I got to say about that. Anybody else?
It's pretty good.
Let's talk about a Switch modder who has ignored warnings from Nintendo and attempted to defend himself without a lawyer
Literally that always works in every show I've ever seen. That always works.
This is from IGN directly. It says a Nintendo console modder who refused to shut down his business despite warnings from Nintendo and who then defended the ensuing lawsuit without a lawyer has been ordered to pay $2 million. Now, I'm just going to pause here for a second. There's a pretty good chance this dude would have lost anyway and had to have paid more than $2 million in legal fees. So it seems like he won here, actually, in my opinion. Anyway, in 2024, July specifically, Michigan resident Ryan Daly was accused by Nintendo of running Modded Hardware, a company that sold modified Switch consoles, pirated games, and piracy-enabling devices such as the MiG Switch. Despite a prior warning from Nintendo that asked him to cease operations, the modder persisted, and it was at this point that a lawsuit was filed against him. In October, it was revealed that he had decided to fight the case himself without legal representation, while denying wrongdoing and listing off a string of defenses for his other actions. Nearly a year on, and perhaps unsurprisingly, Nintendo has now won the case, and in a judgment dated September 5th, Daly has been ordered to pay $2 million in damages and accept a permanent injunction from any future piracy-enabling activities. The court found that Daly, who did indeed run Modded Hardware, sold piracy-enabling devices, hacked consoles, and mod chips that caused Nintendo of America significant and irreparable harm, and which allowed for pirate copies of Nintendo games to be created, distributed, and played on a massive scale. The second thing I'll say about this, boys, other than the fact that he probably paid less, the $2 million is probably less than he would have paid in legal fees. $2 million is a pretty cheap payoff to cause Nintendo irreparable harm. That's my opinion on that. Dave, what do you think about this? Are you still a Nintendo defender? I mean, in this case, it's not really a matter of
This
defending
is
or
just
not.
funny.
Yeah.
And there's a fine line between courageous and stupid, and I think this is probably the latter. It's funny, like it's I saw it. This guy is. I got the image of the "Let Me Solo Her" guy, but a girl, whatever. But yeah, the one thing I do wonder is this case apparently took a year. And in the realm of legal proceedings, I don't know if that's a long time or a short time, but considering it was one guy and the penalty was ultimately $2 million and he didn't have legal representation, does that mean he had valid defenses? And unfortunately, the story doesn't say what his defenses were, but I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe he almost did it. Maybe not almost did it, but he stretched the case on long enough to kind of make a case for himself. But yeah, I don't know. You're playing with fire. We said this a million times. Like, Nintendo does not fuck around when it comes to pirating, but at the same time, there's still so many people who are willing to take this risk. They have the intrusive Nintendo thoughts, and it just kind of shows what demand there is for this hardware and software. Like, they're like weeds, and Nintendo, as hard as they go after these people, they can't take him out fast enough. But good for this guy. Also, he's an idiot. So
I asked ChatGPT, are there any high-level court cases where someone has defended themselves and won? Just because, I'm sure in traffic court, sure, it's not a big deal. But yes, there are a number of high-profile cases where defendants chose to represent themselves and succeeded, though it's uncommon because courts usually advise against it. First one, Colin Ferguson. He carried out the 1993 Long Island Railroad shooting, famously representing himself at trial. He was ultimately convicted, but his case is often cited because of the unusual spectacle of him cross-examining his own victims. Next notable one, a little guy you may have heard of, Ted Bundy. He did get convicted and executed, but he managed to cross-examine his own witnesses and delay proceedings effectively. Delay proceedings effectively. Robert Kearns versus the Ford Motor Company invented the intermittent windshield wiper, represented himself, won, and got millions and millions of dollars in judgments. The list goes on with many more people here. Yes, but I just was curious, has anybody ever done this in a real case and won? And there are a few. Brandon, what do you think about this? Sorry, I got derailed.
Yeah, this guy's a Giga Chad, as far as I'm concerned. He is truly Oonga Boonga. There may not be a couple brain cells in there that are just fighting for dear life, but this is honestly super based of him to take on Nintendo by himself. And honestly, I'm thinking the courts and Nintendo may have just felt bad for this guy. He might be a little slow. But 2 million seems insane, dude. If this were anybody that actually tried to put any amount of money to try and screw over Nintendo, I actually just think this is like, okay, well, we have to put some large amount on it, but this man is unwell. And it's very possible that this guy could have easily just made $2 million by himself from doing what he was doing if he's distributing and has like essentially Nintendo dealers that have been doing this. He could have $2 million easily. So this guy's probably fucking walking the streets today. No problem.
His massive dick just swanging.
Dude, he's like bouncing on his balls like Randy whenever they put their balls in the microwave in South Park. Holy shit, this is honestly amazing. You weren't kidding, Dave. This is hilarious. This seems like a South Park skit, like one guy defending himself against all of Nintendo. And my only thought that the fact that it took an entire year is they were either like, is this seriously happening? Is this guy seriously defending himself? And a lot of people trying to like convince him otherwise, or the man just had some good points. I think sometimes you're so stupid that it kind of flips the scale. I think you then become brilliant. I think the line between like the most dumb of all time and the most brilliant is thin, but most people don't fall in the as dumb as a rock category. So I think it's like a shooting star. It's like, compressing it or, tearing apart atoms. It's something that requires a lot of energy and a lot of stupidity. Now I'm just yapping. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. This is something else. This is truly something else. And I love this story. This may be one of my favorite stories that we've talked about in a long time. Just to imagine, literally just to imagine this, especially with how much we talk about Nintendo. And as a Nintendo hater, this guy, what's this guy's name? Ryan Daly. I need to meet this man. I need to sit down with him and I need to get the inside scoop. We need to have him on the show. Can we reach out?
Yeah, he probably charges an appearance fee. He's got some bills to pay from what I hear.
I'm thinking like $2 million.
Yeah. You make the offer. We'll clear it with the accountants if he says yes. Yeah, I have to think that they were like, well, let's talk about a reasonable amount of damages compared to what he made from this business. And there's no chance, like, if Nintendo actually thinks he caused them irreparable harm, which I doubt, by the way, then it's worth more than $2 million. So they just had to make an example of it. I think you're right.
Where's the Nintendo land? They should have just hung him from the highest place there on the flag for a little bit. I feel like that would have been pretty.
You're like how Mario's like, he always stands like this. Yeah. Just like have the Mario holding like the noose.
I was thinking like suspend him there for like 3 weeks, not necessarily kill him, where he has to just like endure the weather or something.
Just drop him on the flagpole like Mario jumped on it.
Chances are he would have got 100 coins for doing that. So.
Actually throw him in lava.
Players are taking matters into their own hands after Ubisoft removes access to the Crew racing game. This comes from the Autopian.com. Never cited this source before. Earlier this year, video game publisher Ubisoft shut down servers for the Crew, a 2014 open-world racing game. This would be expected and arguably even fine if it had only removed multiplayer, but the Crew is one of those video games where a constant online connection is required, even if you play purely solo and own a physical copy. This shutdown rendered the game completely unplayable. An industrious group of fans, however, is bringing it back by taking matters into their own hands. Rogue modders have built a server emulator that, in the words of the video game outlet Kotaku, will let players essentially trick the game into thinking Ubisoft servers are still operating like it's 2014. This emulator can even be configured to run locally on your own PC for a truly offline experience. It's set to be released on September 15th and is being made available free of charge, mostly so there's less incentive for Ubisoft and its lawyers to get involved. By the way, this game is what like kind of started the Stop Killing Games initiative. So it kind of made a big waves. But Dave, you're the Ubisoft shill here. How do you feel about this? And do you think they're going to step in and say, stop it?
No, I don't, because it keeps people playing their game. I know they see no value in that, but I think it's more bad PR if they were to shoot this down. I say just let it be. I don't know what the kind of implications are of a big publisher like that allowing an emulator to operate, but at the same time, there's significant enough demand where people want to do this. So they could even find a way to spin this in a positive way and support them somehow. But I love seeing this stuff. I have to admit, I'm surprised that The Crew has this much of a passionate fan base. And I know it only takes a small crowd, but as you said, this kind of started a bit of a movement. And it makes me worried. And I've kind of expressed this before, but there are a lot of games these days that require an online connection for most, if not all, of the game to be playable. And we don't really notice it because those servers are still online. But like, I think it's something like GT7, Gran Turismo 7, where if you try to log into that game without updating or with your internet not connected, of the like a dozen different icons that are on like the home screen, there are like 2 that are accessible. And Gran Turismo 7 is absolutely the kind of game that people are going to be playing for 10, 15 years. And there's no way that Sony's going to keep those servers live all that time. So I do hope that movements like this, and again, I'm surprised that it came from The Crew, prompt developers and publishers to at least design their games, even if they do have online aspects, with some sort of safety net, so that, you know, if people buy your game, they can continue to play it for as long as they own the copy of the game. And I know that's probably naive of me to think, but at the end of the day, it's just, you know, it's just what's right. And yeah, so anyways, but it's cool to see. I talk about him on the show sometimes, but Mystic Ryan did a video with a bunch of people who kept Warhawk up and running, and I think it's still going, and he actually got in and played with them, and it was super nostalgic because that was one of the first games that I played on my launch PS3. And it's just cool to see people go to that lengths, not just to keep a game alive that they love playing, but keep connected with the community and the friendships that they built through that game. So yeah.
Edward Walton says they don't sell the game anymore, so it's going to be tricky. Have you met Nintendo? Question mark. Back in the early 2012, 13, 14, somewhere in there, I played a game with my brother-in-law called Wizardry, and it was an online MMO, and he really loved it. I liked it a lot. I played the heck out of it. Sony shut it down at one point, and the Japan servers were still open for a while because I think they were a little more profitable probably, and then eventually they got shut down as well. But they gave the source code to like a fan group, and they had not a fully operational, but like I had rebuilt it essentially and had it for testing. I hopped in a couple years ago to check it out, but eventually they shut that down too because it just wasn't feasible without a massive amount of servers, really, because of the way the game was built. But that was pretty cool that the developers like handed over the source code and were like, "Here you go. Just if you can figure it out, do it. Just don't make money from it," basically. But yeah, I think this is good. I think honestly, it's a shame that Ubisoft isn't stepping in and saying like, "Let us at least assist you with some guidance on this." And they look like the good guys, like, hey, okay, we get it. You don't want to pay to have the servers up, but like if you gave these guys some like help, like it would make you look amazing. We would celebrate that. So anyway, Ed says we're not going to talk about Nintendo yet. We talked about Nintendo suing a guy.
Brandon, how do you feel about this?
I think it's good. I would hope that Ubisoft doesn't do anything. It's funny that you bring up the GT7. I think a good happy medium for these companies is what Polyphony did with Gran Turismo Sport. The very last update of Gran Turismo Sport, before they took the servers offline, enabled the game to be played offline.
Good. Yeah.
So they get all of their money, right? And I'd imagine, because it's the same company, whenever inevitably they've decided that it's no longer worth keeping the servers up, they'll just patch it so you can play these. And I don't think that's even happening most of the time, but I feel like that is a good happy medium, that even if you can't have the online, first of all, I don't think you should go after people for doing this that have a passion for your game, period. But second, even if, you're going to make a stink about that, at least give people the option. I think that is the easiest and best option that a company would have. And I hope that, Ubisoft and other companies do something like that and just leave these people alone that love a game that you made. So,
Yeah.
Are you part of the crew, Brandon? Are you in the crew? Have you been in the crew?
I played the newest crew and I did not like it at all. Yeah, I really didn't like it. I felt like it wasn't as about the cars as much as I wanted it to be. There was no garage. That really took me back. It's like you did everything in the menu, and like the performance parts were like putting on armor or something. I don't know. It was weird. It didn't really feel like you were upgrading in the way that I really felt was satisfying. I mean, there's a love for the cars there, just not the way I want. So,
Yeah.
Cool.
Destiny 2.
oh,
It's going
God.
full Star Wars. Brandon's really excited to talk about this.
Destiny and Star Wars, Brandon. Look
Yep.
at that.
Kotaku says this year's The Edge of Fate is arguably one of Destiny 2's worst expansions ever. Some great story beat. That's their opinion, by the way. I haven't played it. Some great story beats and the cool moments could not salvage one of the most disappointing loot grinds in the history of the game. Less than 2 months since launching, Steam concurrent numbers for Bungie's MMO shooter have fallen off a cliff to all-time lows. On Tuesday, the Sony-owned studio streamed a deep dive into what feels like Destiny 2's last chance for a major rebound, the Star Wars-themed expansion's Renegades. On December 2nd, the first crossover-themed campaign in the live service game's history was originally teased back in May. Fans have been wondering how deep the collaborations would go. Would it incorporate Star Wars motifs into Destiny 2's world, or would it be a full-on mashup that would bleed more deeply between the disparate science fictions? Somewhere in the middle is the answer. Renegades merges Destiny's distinctive storytelling and gameplay with themes and elements drawn from the iconic sci-fi franchise. In practice, this seems to be a sci-fi western with ties to deep Destiny 2 lore that features lightsabers, ATST walkers, and lots of Star Wars sound effects, if for no other reason than it all sounds really cool. An X-Wing jump ship that is literally just an X-Wing as well. There's lots of stuff here incorporating it. And honestly, as a lapsed fan of Destiny 2, and as a longtime fan of Star Wars, I think it looks pretty neat. I don't think that's going to cause me to hop back in. But Brandon, as someone who just emphatically loves Destiny and has never stopped playing it since Destiny 1 originally came out, how do you feel about this?
As Ben, as you being a lapsed fan and me being a pro lapsed fan, I guess this is fine. It doesn't matter. The fact that the way they're sensationalizing this article, it's stupid. Okay, this is their last hurrah. They've consistently made money for 10 years. Okay, this isn't a make or break thing for Destiny. They're going to continue to pull in money and have continued to pull in money for longer than they ever thought possible. So I'm not saying they're not going to want to bring back people on a more consistent basis, or they're not going to want to draw in a new crowd. But I feel like the way that this article positions it is that this is just some new game that's like going to fail. They have one last chance to do, something like that. I don't agree with that at all. I think this has been an overwhelming success, more than Bungie ever thought possible. And the fact that they're still putting out big, consistent content and have been for 10 years is an overwhelming success. Nothing short of that. So I'm about it. I think the game's great. I'm so over it, right? Like I've played so many hundreds of hours of this game. I kind of get the itch for it every once in a while because it is a solid game. But I hope they do succeed. I do, because it's a great platform, and I think Bungie, at least what it is now, is great, and they've done well with the game over the past 10 years. It's had ups and downs, but that's what you get when you're developing something for 10 years. So I think this is good. I'm not really into the whole Star Wars thing. It doesn't seem to be branded as Star Wars. It just kind of like looks like Star Wars. Am I reading that correctly?
I think you're right.
With the lightsabers and the X-Wings, they're just like jacking the swag. And, whatever, more power to them. They wouldn't be the first. They won't be the last.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I think it's cool, I guess. I don't know. If the boys want to play it, I'll try it. But I don't I'm kind of over it. I've done it for hundreds of hours, and it's not that I don't like it. I just feel like no matter how much it changes, I've done it so much that it just always feels the same in some way to me. So
You're saying you'll drop $40 on a Destiny expansion if Dave and I want to play?
I'm saying I might try the mobile game with you.
Ooh.
That's not what you said. I heard what you said.
It's funny because you guys asked me that. A little bit of an aside. I won't spend too much time on it. You guys asked me about we'll talk about it later, but you asked if I was going to get in on it, and I said hell no. And then I was thinking, because you had sent that backbone or whatever, Dave, that you got, and I'm like, my dad has a backbone. I wonder if he uses it. And I texted my mom, and I'm like, hey, does he still have this? She's like, yeah, he said you could have it.
Damn.
So,
Dude, I've been shopping all day for one. And you're just like, I don't want to play it, but I have one now. So,
yeah.
piece of shit.
Don't hate me because you hate me.
I've done some math. Brandon has seen 0.46% of all Star Wars movies.
And he fell asleep during it.
1,507 minutes worth of Star Wars movies that exist. And Brandon's
That's all you
watched
need to see.
7 minutes, and he doesn't like it.
And I played the one game with that redheaded ginger bitch. Not a bitch, just like a bitch made boy, I guess is what I'm saying.
Cameron Monaghan. Yeah.
And then
Is he on the Mount Rushmore of gingers, Brandon? Where's he? You know,
no, it's just me.
it's just
It's just him
you and
5
Bill,
times.
you and Bill Burr.
It's different angles. But I've also
Bill
heard
Burr was
so
in
many-
Star Wars.
He was, yeah.
Bill Burr is like, I can't tell whether I like that guy or hate him, and I guess that means I probably like him. But I've heard so many people talk about it. I feel like I've got plenty of Star Wars.
Sure.
It's one of those things that you're just around enough that it's like, have I watched it? No. And now I don't want to watch it, thanks to all of you.
Fair enough.
You have brain worms.
I do.
I'm more wondering what is this type of crossover mean for what direction Sony is trying to push Bungie to take the franchise. Because I don't know that we've had like this isn't really a crossover event. This is like a whole thing, right? Kind of, you said a $40 expansion that's kind of built around.
So to be clear, I don't know if it's $40. That's just what they usually are.
Right.
And is there actually any collaboration with Star Wars?
I think
or
so.
is it just, is there? Okay.
There's an ATST and there's lightsabers and stuff. Like there has to be some sort of license agreement there, right?
So they aren't just jacking the swag, like it is licensed. Is that what we're saying?
I think so.
I need to watch the trailer because honestly, I just kind of like block out all the.
This Kotaku article was so ragey that it forgot to mention if it was official or not. But
yeah, I've looked elsewhere. I think that Lucasfilm Games might be involved, but I can't even tell that for sure.
In any case, it's like the post-launch content from Bungie used to be like I know there were some misses, but there were a lot of hits. And I look at something like this and I kind of wonder, I hope it's because the rest of the creative and development team is hard at work at whatever Destiny is going to turn into next, whether that be Destiny 3 or like a massive new update. But when I don't want to call these crossovers lazy, but when they did their presentation earlier this week, the Renegades thing was a big part of it. Like it was the majority of it. And they had another content piece that came with it. But I don't know. It doesn't really fill me in confidence in terms of where Destiny 2 is going, which again, if it's sunsetting in favor for whatever's coming next, that's okay. But I don't know. Bungie used to kind of put out bangers when it came to post-launch content, and I don't think this is it, even as somebody who's a fan of both properties. But yeah.
Dude, most of the team's probably working on Marathon.
God.
Seriously.
Yeah, you're not wrong, Brandon. I think you're probably right. For better or for worse. Let's talk about what we've been playing. Brandon, you go first. Oh, wait. Hold on.
I should probably go first. I don't have that much to say.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
So I've just been playing No Man's Sky. I think I'm about to 40 hours now. At least that's what the save file says. Um, yeah, it's great. I'm starting to slow down a little bit. Uh, I'm having this really large problem where I'm trying to clear quests. They're not mandatory, but multiple of the quests now that I've ran into are just endless quests, and they don't tell you that. And they make you do the same thing over and over again. So I'm thinking it's just like, shitty quest making, right? Where I'm just doing the same thing and eventually it will end. I cannot tell you how many hours recently I've wasted before I just sit, I'll do like 5 or 6 of this thing. And then I go to Google and they're like, oh, yeah, that's an endless quest. And I'm like, well, guess I could have been doing something else more productive than getting, this very nominal amount of resources to do the same thing 5,000 times. I could have spent my time a little bit more doing something a little bit more interesting. So that's been kind of aggravating. I played last night and I booted up the game and I was maybe playing for less than an hour. I was getting bored enough that I was going into the community hub or the central hub where you meet most of the players at.
Mm-hmm.
And the new update added the Corvette, which is a ship that multiple people can get in at the same time, which is really cool. I built a Corvette. I really like it. I've been upgrading it. But nobody was on, and so I would just walk up to somebody else's Corvette and just go inside and just hang out. It's probably kind of sad, but I decided that there was a guy moving around, and so he went to go get a quest, and I sat in his thing right at the door, so I'd see when he'd come back in, and I sat there because I wanted to see if it would let me go somewhere with him, even though he wasn't in my party. I sat there, and I was just scrolling on Reddit or something while I was doing this. And I sat there for maybe another 10 or 15 minutes. And then all of a sudden, my character just randomly spawned on a planet underneath the water. So he had apparently left and my character fell out and there was a lag or something. But the screen was black and I heard my life support going down. I thought I almost lost everything because you can recover your graves in this game if you die. You just have to go there and get it. But if I was spawned underneath the map and I died, then effectively my entire inventory is bugged out of the game. And this game is very buggy in a lot of ways and still is. And I don't think that's ever going to change. Very, very, very buggy, some of these quests. Luckily I was able to swim up in some way and not die. But yeah, I'm slowing down a little bit. I really want to play with the boys. You know what I mean? Playing it by myself has kind of lost some of its luster. I have a Corvette. I have multiple frigates. I have pretty much all the resources in the game. I have a really nice base with solar power and I have my own settlement. So it's getting to the point where aside from getting the living ship, which is something I'm really interested in and I don't even know how to start, I'm slowing down. But aside from that, not too much going on. I want to get back to the old country. I'm kind of hoping they fix it a little bit, to be honest with you. But I think, we've talked extensively about Unreal Engine 5 and its issues. I don't know if it can be completely resolved, but I would like it to be in a little bit better state because even on the lowest settings, I'm having trouble traversing consistently through the map. So, yeah, that's about it. I'm kind of yearning for something new. I got to get back to Expedition 33. It's kind of blasphemous that I've been playing No Man's Sky instead of that. But I just got a bug. That's kind of how I am. I just get a bug for certain things and I just do it. So,
yep. I understand that for sure. Davey.
So I've started playing a game, and I don't know if Poot is listening, but you're going to need to update the spreadsheet. Because I've been playing a game called Peroto, Prooto. This is an indie game. It's about $5 on Steam. And this is it's a very arcadey type experience where you play this little spaceman, and the premise is really simple. There are these red orbs in every level, and you just have to get rid of all of them. The problem is when you start each level, you only have 5 bullets. You only have 5 pieces of ammunition. And if you want more, you have to go collect all these tokens around the thing, and then that'll give you an extra 15 bullets. So you really have to kind of plan how you use your shots, because if you run out, then you're done. There's a lot of platforming involved too, like just kind of jumping to the different parts of the level. It's just one fixed screen. But what I'm really impressed by is made by one guy. His name is Ed Vasquez, and just there's like 4 different sets of levels, and the amount of ideas, like new ideas that keep coming at you through each level was pretty impressive. And everything from like portals to like bounce pads to different power-ups that you can get. Like, it's just constantly new ideas to keep the core mechanic, which is really simple, really fresh. So music is also really good too. So yeah, this is the kind of game that perfect for the Steam Deck. I've been playing on my desktop, obviously, but yeah, $5 made by one guy. A lot of fun. Also, each at the end of each level, there's a boss battle, and you're fighting the same boss each time, but in very, very different scenarios. And the end of the third level is like the coolest thing, because like you're flying through space. Well, this, like, it's kind of like Cuphead-esque, but like even more intense. Not as difficult, but even more intense. So yeah, Peroto, Poroto. Really fun game. I met this guy at PAX in Boston, and the cool thing about this is he was there with his game Peroto, and the game had already been out for several months. And the only reason he went to PAX was to show off his already released game and just try to get people to play, buy, and review it. Because he understood the importance of having reviews on Steam. And you might think, oh, well, you're paying all that money to not buy reviews, but get people to review your game. But he lived in Boston, so it wasn't that big deal of him. But I was really impressed that like he was so focused on that one piece of like post-launch kind of reviewer feedback stuff. So finally had a chance to play his game, and really enjoyed it. Left a review, and I definitely recommend, if you're listening to this, if you're looking for like a fun, short, arcadey experience, Peroto is really cool. The other thing is I've cleared the game, but each level has 3 challenges. So like if you really want to, like, if difficulty is your thing, it's not for me, but if it is yours, each level you can kind of go back and try to clear all the challenges. But really cool game. I enjoyed that. The last thing is I've been playing quite a bit of Destiny Rising. Ben, I think you're going to talk about this a bit. So
Not much.
Not much.
Not
Okay.
much. No.
I don't know how much time I have in it, but what I'm really enjoying about it is just how they've taken the Destiny experience and made it so mobile friendly. And what I mean by that is the strikes are shorter. Like, you can get through a strike in like 5 to 7 minutes. All of the rest of the activities, there's like a card game, there's a fishing game. It's just the jump in and out ability of the game is so good, and I think that's just perfect for a mobile experience. The other thing that I really appreciate is in your quest log, each chapter will have like a set of 5 or 6 missions you have to accomplish. And what it allows you to do is just click normally you would just click a mission to track it, and then it would tell you like where to go. But in this, it gives you the option to just fast travel directly to wherever you need to go to start that mission. Like, everything in the game has been designed to make playing as quickly as possible. Like, there's no navigating, that kind of stuff. Like, it's just so snappy. It's in and out, and I really appreciate that. And I know that's how NetEase does most of the games. They do it with Diablo Immortal as well. But I just like that. I feel like I can really jump in and get quite a bit done in a short period of time, because it's just such an efficient game. I think a couple things that I'm not enjoying as much is because there isn't really armor pieces in the game. At least I haven't found them yet. I don't think that's a thing. The vast majority in the loot that I'm getting is currency. It's a mobile game. It's a gacha game. There's a million different kinds of currencies. So, you see a chest, you see it's glowing gold or purple, and you're excited to get that cool loot drop. And all you get is just different pieces of currency. So I kind of miss like that true looter shooter pull of like, you open a chest and you get like a new headpiece and you get like a new sidearm and stuff like that. It's not the same kind of degree of excitement when the vast majority of the loot that you're getting is just different kinds of currencies. So I think that's one thing I'm kind of missing with it. The other thing is the Sparrow kind of sucks. I don't know what it is. It just feels kind of slow. It feels a bit stiff. I haven't actually unlocked the Sparrow racing yet, but I'm curious to see how that kind of feels. Could also be because the environment's a little bit smaller than what you might be used to in traditional Destiny. But yeah, that's just kind of a niggly thing. But in any case, I'm still having a lot of fun with Destiny Rising. I'm still really liking my GameSir G8 Galileo. So thanks again to Benji for the recommendation on that. So yeah, that's it for me.
I'll start with Destiny Rising since Dave was just talking about it. I've only played like half an hour of this. But so far it feels really clean. And to be honest, I've played it on the PC emulator. But knowing that it is I have it downloaded on my phone as well. I just haven't had the chance to play on there. You can tell it's a mobile game first, and that shows, but like not in a bad way. Everything is just way more simplified. I already hate the fact that there's like so many currencies and little notifications I got to check off every 15 seconds if I don't want to go insane. But like it just feels like an old school like PS3 game. In that it's a little more simple, a little more clean, but a little more clunky at the same time because it has to run on the phone, obviously. I'm excited to keep playing it to the extent that like I don't really play games on my phone, but after Dave talking about having the controller, I'm like shopping around for one, and I don't know if I want to go with the GameSir, if I want to go with a Backbone. They both seem to have some pros and cons I'd be interested in. The price is about the same. I could get a dirt cheap one since I don't know how much I'll actually use it, but it just seems like I might use it more if I invest a little more in it, right? So that's how that works, right? But I don't have much more to say about it than that, just that I'm going to keep playing it. My buddy Justin is also very, very, very into it. Has been playing a lot and encouraging me to hop on. So I guess I'm going to do that. Also have put a decent amount of time into No Man's Sky this week. I haven't been able to connect with Brandon really too much to play, but looking forward to doing that. We've also continued playing the finals, which we talked about with a couple buddies, a couple games a night, something like that. That game is so sweaty, which is one of the things we talked about at the launch of that game, that it was going to be very sweaty very quickly. And we do okay, but it gets frustrating. And we don't know all the metas and everything, of course, yet, or at least not very well. So it is what it is, as Radek would say. And then the last thing, I think I actually finished this before last week, but I forgot about it. Because I had finished it like on a Wednesday or like on a Thursday, and we didn't record again until Wednesday, whatever it was. But Sword of the Sea, I played Sword of the Sea on my PlayStation. I initially had planned on like deep diving it and going for the platinum, which I may still do eventually. But I only just went through it. I did a little bit more exploration than was necessary, but I didn't try to like 100% of their platinum it. I love this game. Very just like chill, smooth, very much like their other games that they've had in the past. There's not a lot I can say about this game without like spoiling the experience. It's probably only like a 3-hour experience, really. I will say that there's nothing flashy or like crazy about it, but my kids sat and like watched me play it the entire time, and they were really enjoying it. Now, unfortunately, they were like my younger kid was asking like way too many questions during it. I'm like, you're supposed to just like vibe, man, just chill, which he eventually did. But it's really cool. If you don't want to think, but you want to feel, I feel like it's a good game. The last thing I did play a little bit of was Hell Is Us. I played like maybe 2 hours of it. I don't know if it's for me. It's not that I'm not enjoying it. It's just that I don't know that I was in the right frame of mind to play it. I was distracted. It's very much a game where like you got to just figure out where to go. The game isn't telling you. Figure out where to go and what to do and everything. Which I like that conceptually, but the 2 nights I tried to play it, or that I did play it, my mind was just like, you got to think about this other thing right now. So it just didn't. It was not a chill and play kind of game. But I'll probably get back to it. I just don't know when. That's about it for me. Kind of a hodgepodge of things. Nothing really like too in depth, but a lot of stuff.
I don't know if this is the case in rural Pennsylvania, but I found a ton of mobile controllers on Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that. So if you're looking, you can, and they were all like less than half price, less than half of retail. So
I haven't logged on to Facebook in over 5 years personally, but I logged on to my wife's Facebook Marketplace, and there were a few, but they were all like an hour plus from me. And even though they were like a decent price, I was like, I got to drive an hour to buy a used controller
To gamble
or
essentially on it.
a slight discount. They weren't, I didn't see many that were half price, but some that were like, $40-$50. And I'm like, I don't know, do I want to take that gamble and spend 2 hours of my day total and maybe even get stabbed in the process? I don't know.
maybe you can borrow Brandon's. Was it your dad's backbone?
Yeah, it's mine now.
Okay, never mind. Not getting that.
Brandon,
Oh, you mean my
detests phone-
backbone?
Brandon detests phone gaming. Yet we just casually mention a game, and he's like, "I'm gonna get a backbone." Even
It's not
Wild.
mine. I didn't buy it.
I know
I'm paying no monies for it. It's probably sitting on a shelf right now.
it's
dead.
going to continue to sit on a shelf.
Maybe.
But why don't you let Ben trial it while you're hating your life playing No Man's Sky, and then if he likes it, he knows it's a worthwhile investment. Do you know what I mean?
That might be a good idea. Or
But
I
then
will
again,
know
Ben,
it.
if you're playing on PC, then why do you want to move to handheld?
Well, I want it to be a handheld game for when
Got it.
I'm not at my PC or when I don't want to play at my PC.
Can you
Um,
emulate it on your Steam Deck?
No, I already looked.
Hmm.
Unless I were dual booting Windows, which I'm not going to do.
Small price to pay.
Nah, it's at that point I'm not doing it. I'm not playing it.
You can just play real Destiny.
Nope, not on your Steam Deck. I don't think you can.
That's an intrusive thought.
Oh, really?
That's the truth.
We've come
That's
full
actually
circle.
that's actually
Hey.
worse than stabbing myself in the throat. Would be playing at real Destiny.
All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for watching. You can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/handsomephantom. We appreciate you all. You can also join the Discord at handsomephantom.com/discord. Anybody have any final words?
That's it, buddy.
Happy Borderlands week, everybody.
Oh, Dave, are you buying it tomorrow?
I thought it comes out Friday.
Are you buying it Friday?
Yes.
Nice. Have the reviews
have-
dropped for it yet?
I have a date lined up and everything. No, I don't care. It's 10 out of 10 in my heart.
I didn't mean it would matter if you played it or not. I just wondered if the reviews had dropped.
Well,
I'm anticipating it being
Let's go to
decent.
6.5 on IGN, Dave. I need another 7 on. No, I'm not going to say it.
Goodbye, everyone. We'll see you next week. Bye.